Fire signs, fire, fire, fire signs. Let's see what messages come through for you guys. If you guys are new, I am Mocha. If you guys aren't, thank you guys for coming back. I love y'all. I'm gonna pull 3 cards, get straight into it. Glad y'all here. All right, let's see. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Well, someone has something to say. I'm seeing like a microphone. I see someone like a podium, microphones. I don't know who's about to come up and say something. That's interesting. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Sagittarius, y'all coming up next. We have the Ace of Swords. It's interesting because this might make sense of what I saw with the microphone. I feel like the fire signs have come to a conclusion, and they've come to this conclusion with no confusion. It's like, God, I see it, I hear it, I get it, I understand. Maybe you guys have been indecisive for a long time, or maybe this is you guys speaking up on something, and it's bringing clarity to you, and it's bringing clarity to others. This feels like the truth. And now I think about it, the microphone speaking, that's Mercury energy, and Mercury is currently retrograding. So maybe there's something that's being revisited. Maybe there's some sort of misunderstanding that's getting cleared up. Maybe an old topic is being brought up, and there's some clarity that's coming with that. It's just giving no more confusion. I'm not confused. I made my decision, or I have a solution. I've solved the problem. I know what to do next. Some of you guys are going to be learning that too much people from the outside that don't have anything to do with the situation is not necessary. Getting advice, hearing other people's opinions, warranted or unwarranted, if they're not in the midst of the situation, then we need to exclude them out. Like, I'm not saying that needs to apply every time in every situation, but pertaining to this reading, like that's what I'm getting. Maybe someone's really understanding when I have too many people's opinions and advice and all of the things like that, it causes confusion when, the answer was there the entire time. Maybe some of you guys are starting to understand what caused the confusion, what contributed to the confusion. What else for the fire signs? The Tower. Tower card. This is a big deal, y'all. This is a big deal. Someone may have had some sort of revelation. Like, oh, shoot, I've been confused the whole time. I should have been doing A, B, and C. Or, this is like, this feels like someone's been walking around blindfolded. And once they took the blindfolds off, they were able to see things. And when they saw the things, it was nothing like what they thought in their head. One thing I had to learn, never assume. Never assume. I learned that from a book called, I think, The Four Agreements. Maybe it's the Five Agreements, but I think it's the Four Agreements. And I think the very first agreement is to not assume. So maybe we were in denial, delusional, confused, whatever the case may be. And in that confusion, we were assuming things, jumping to conclusions. Now there's been some sort of clarity that has happened, and it's like, oh, we got to clean up shop now. It's like being in a relationship that was unhealthy and toxic, and now you gain all this clarity over one conversation, or some sort of fact came out, a truth came out, and you're like, I would have never been in this relationship had I known this from the beginning. And maybe you're gaining clarity that even if you knew in the beginning, there were certain things that you need to work on because before you even got to this conclusion, because even if you knew in the beginning, maybe you still would have been confused and denial, unclear, uncertain. There's just so many, I feel like there's been missing pieces to a puzzle and you just got the last five pieces left. And you're like, okay, boom, 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 let me put the piece. Okay, boom. Oh shoot, look at the whole picture. That's not what I thought the puzzle was gonna look like. The Tower card is about radical change, necessary change, mandatory change. So whatever, I mean, this is why I said this is a big deal. Whatever this is, you gained all the clarity on how to move forward. And it's going to cause disruption in your everyday life or your routine or the dynamic of a situation or relationship. It's going to change it. And I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's going to change it drastically. This may happen abruptly, like overnight. This might happen over a short period of time, like maybe 30 days. But this is giving right now, things are changing. Like the foundation is breaking because you don't want to build on it anymore. You're like, not with what I understand, not with what I know, not with, this is more certainty than anything. This might be someone realizing like nothing can be fruitful out of a situation, or there's certain things that are required of you that has to change in order for things to change. This could also be someone realizing that they contributed to the problem. I'm picking up apologies are going to be coming left and right, either from you or from other people. Maybe it's a mutual thing. And whatever this is, I feel like it's giving testimony energy. You see how like the fire is spreading like wildfire. It's spreading. I feel like you're going to be sharing your testimony like wildfire too, to whoever is willing to listen, whoever has the intellect to listen and comprehend what the words that are coming out of your mouth. My only advice is that to be discerning about who you share your testimony with, because with testimony sometimes comes judgment, and for others, with testimony comes enlightenment. It can be inspiring and motivating to others. So just be discerning. What else for the fire signs? And see how like this feather is out here in the wilderness. There's nobody behind the feather. There's no one in the land. And to be honest too, I'm getting a lot of like Oya energy too. Like the Ace of Swords feels like the wind, and the Tower card, there's the thunder. So for those that resonate or connect with work with Oya, she's present here as well. This could be you guys being in solitude, being by yourself and just processing your thoughts, processing what all has come out of a conversation. This clarity is mind-blowing. It is life-changing. It is life-changing. You might not see it that way, but it's like getting clarity you didn't have this entire time, or seeing something. Like, you may have gotten this clarity before, but maybe because you're more mature, you've had other experiences, you're viewing the same clarity in a different way. Okay, let me pull one more, and then we'll pull a card for advice. We have the Five of Cups, loss, confirmation. But if you look at the top of the Five of Cups, there's the Two of Cups. Okay. Looks like the moon is turning into a new moon. You know, the new moon is when the moon disappears. So this could be an indication that a new chapter is coming in, and you're gonna have to take your losses. I'm hearing Almost Doesn't Count by Brandy. The song Almost Doesn't Count. The fire signs are going to be experiencing their emotions shift like the wind. Someone might be like, dang, you just giving up, or you made your decision, that's it. And it's like, they might think you're making a decision off of your emotions, and you're like, no, I'm making this decision with logic. And some people, in some situations and some things, they have to go. They can't come with me in the next chapter of my life. And that's why I say, like, there's going to be change that's going to impact everybody involved. The Five of Cups, it has good and bad energy with it in this reading. I just saw 1212 on the timer. But like, for instance, when we're thinking about the Five of Cups, sometimes we're focusing on what we no longer have, what has changed with the Tower card that we cannot undo. Five of Cups sometimes to me is like grief, like you're grieving what once was. And this could also be someone like having revelations and reality checks about how this situation with the Five of Cups, of someone not being, or a situation not going the way that it once was, or this could be about someone like realizing a dream or an idea or a concept isn't going to happen. But this Five of Cups is talking about accepting that loss, and seeing and accepting that this can't come into the next chapter. The fire signs are going to be dealing with, like, we're going to have to adjust. I suggest y'all put on y'all seatbelts for this, because, and I'm not saying this like in a bad way either. I'm just saying, like, for instance, when I think about the Orisha Oya, Oya brings necessary change. If we cling on to something too tight, she'll help you loosen the grip, or she'll take it that far and cut your hand off. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to help you sever ties from things that are kind of suffocating you like roots. And so when you're so tight, when you're gripping something so tight, and it's time for you to sever ties from that, it can be painful. But on the other side of that, with the Five of Cups, which is the good thing about the Five of Cups, is that you're not completely depleted. You still have two cups up there. For those that work with the water element, this could be definitely time for a spiritual cleanse. I think the next new moon is in Scorpio on the 19th. For those that work with the moon, maybe you should be working with that energy. Scorpio is about death and transformation and rebirth. Death is change. it just feels so necessary. Like this needs to happen. This needed to happen. And um, for some that are ready for this change and know it's going to be hard in some areas and a blessing in many, they're ready, you know. But for others, this is a grieving experience. Okay, let me pull an affirmation card for advice. I know affirmation and advice probably don't come hand in hand, but for me it does. What does the fire signs need to hear, Spirit? Bottom of the deck, we have soulmates. I like sharing that. Soulmates. Soulmates do not simply exist. They are created through hard work, determination, and love. I find great comfort in this. I am not a statistic, but a garden that blooms and grows with another. I allow the universe to open my heart to this exciting future. Some of you guys were in a connection. Soulmates have a variety of connections. Soulmates aren't just solely romantic. And in that connection, you guys realize that it's hard work, it's consistency, it's dedication. And some of you guys were not invested in doing that. Some of you guys did not experience reciprocation. Now you've learned, you've gained the clarity, right? Relationships require work. They require you to show up. They require growth. So some of you guys are choosing to either maybe release a version of somebody, maybe you're releasing a version of yourself, and you're being more open-hearted, open-minded to the work that a relationship or in an interconnection requires. But for some of you guys, you're cutting your ties. You're severing the ties. You're done. Finito. Fini. That's it. That's all. And you're taking these 2 cups here and you're saying, I allow the universe to open my heart to this exciting future. And underneath soulmate, we have dreamer. The best thing you can do when you're down is dream. Like seriously, if you don't have anything around you inspiring you, motivating you, you are dealing with a creative block because you're in this funk. The best thing you can do is dream. Start imagining, visualizing. If you still have the ability to visualize, you got something. That's my advice with this 5 of Cups energy, because it can be very emotionally taxing to think about what you're letting go and what you lost and what isn't, or letting go of a vision or a dream, right? The best thing you can do if you're in that funk is to dream, is to imagine, is to create something to look forward to. And then once you get there and you start consistently imagining and dreaming something, then you start to work on your willpower. How much do you want that? And you go from there. And sometimes between dreaming and imagining and being action oriented is the work. It is the work right there in the middle between there, A and B, dreaming and being action oriented. All right. That's what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Comment and let me know if this resonates with you. Share the video with somebody else that's a fire sign or dealing with the fire sign. And follow me on my socials. Follow me on Instagram. Book a personal reading. Get you more clarity, especially if you feel called to. Okay. But yeah, Until next time, we'll see each other. Bye.